All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power, and in today's video, I want to talk about an up-and-coming bodybuilder by the name of Carlos Thomas Jr. And surprisingly enough, he's actually still an amateur bodybuilder. Now, some of you guys may have seen him on Instagram because he's been posting a lot of physique updates lately because of the fact that he's currently prepping for NPC Nationals. He's going to be trying to get his pro card, and I think he's an interesting case here. Because if he is able to earn his IFBB Pro card, and he does prove that not only does he have these crazy proportions, not only does he have this crazy size, these crazy arms, crazy quads, but if he can prove that he can come in condition and earn that Pro card and win a show like Nationals, I think he could really have a very bright future in the IFBB. And we've done videos like this before. We talked about Nick Walker a lot when he was still an amateur. Now look at him. He's a top Olympian. Top 5 at the Olympia. He's an Arnold Classic champion. We talked a lot about Hunter Labrada when he was still an amateur. We saw the potential in Hunter. Now he's a top 4 Olympian. We talk about guys outside of the IFBB, like Michael Krizo, like Good Vito, Vitaly Ugonikov. Guys that have tons of potential. And Carlos Thomas Jr., he is a guy that I sincerely believe has the genetic structure to be a very competitive force in the IFBB. So I believe he's doing a qualifier for Nationals, a national qualifier in about 3 weeks. So he's about 3 weeks out in these pictures from that qualifier and about 7 weeks out right now from NPC Nationals. And I got to say, he's really been impressing me. These latest updates, specifically, his arms are absolutely crazy. He kind of reminds me of Rolly Winkler, just the crazy proportion that he has. Just massive, massive arms, but he's got a really small waist. He's not like a super blocky physique. He doesn't have like an ugly physique. He's actually got a really nice structure, a really nice flow. But like I keep saying, on top of that, just these wacky, wacky proportions. And, you know, this most muscular pose, one of the recent updates that he posted, just crazy. And it's also worth mentioning that Carlos is being coached by Patrick Tour. So not only does he have top shelf, top tier genetics, but he's got a top shelf IFBB coach. Patrick Tour is coaching Ian Valliere. He's coaching Stanimal. He also coached James Hollingshead. He coached James for the Olympia. So that's part of why I see such potential in Carlos, because like I said, not only does he have these crazy genetics and he's got this crazy physique on Instagram, but he is being coached by one of the best of the best. So that's kind of why I wanted to bring this guy to your guys' attention, because he's a guy that I've been watching very closely. He's definitely a guy that I've got my eye on. He reminds me a bit of Nick Walker, some of the hype that Nick had when he was coming up in the amateur ranks. This guy kind of has that wow factor like Nick had. I mean, if you look back at Nick when he was an amateur, one of the things that was kind of the wow factor with Nick was the freaky size of his arms, and that's one thing that Carlos has as well. But like I said, with those crazy proportions, those big, round, crazy full arms, big, crazy quads, he's still got a very aesthetic physique, a nice flow to his physique. And what I'm going to be looking for at these next 2 shows that he does is really how much detail he's able to bring. Because even though he looks freaky in a lot of these pictures, you don't see a whole lot of crazy detail. And granted, some of these are pretty far out from the show, and he's got a lot of time to improve upon that, not only drop water, but significant amount of weeks to actually drop fat and actual weight as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, but that's what I'm looking for, is to see how conditioned he comes in. I'm assuming that whatever national qualifier he does, it's really going to be no issue for him, and he's going to go straight to Nationals. But once we see him on the national stage, conditioning and detail is what I'm going to be looking for, because from the looks of it, he already has every bit of size to be really one of the best amateurs there is. And that's kind of what I look for each year in the amateur ranks, like last year or a couple years ago with Nick Walker, is who is like the standout guy in the NPC, who is ahead of everybody else from a genetic standpoint in the amateur ranks. And Carlos is the guy right now that from a genetic standpoint, from a physique standpoint, he doesn't look like an amateur. He looks like he is the most ahead of the pack that I've seen so far. But I think it is going to be something where we really need to see conditioning and detail on a physique like this, because some of the pictures I've seen of his back, I thought that there could be more detail there. His hamstrings as well, but again, he's pretty far out from the show. So we're going to be watching him closely. We're going to obviously cover NPC Nationals on this channel. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about Carlos's physique. Do you think he has a shot at earning his pro card at Nationals? And if he does earn his pro card, do you think he could become another one of these new generation guys, one of these young up-and-comers like Nick, like Hunter, like Ian, and be really competitive and really good right off the bat at his pro debut, assuming he gets his pro card and goes and does a show? Do you think he could be another Nick Walker? I guess is the question that I'm posing to you guys. And personally, he looks like he's got all the tools at his disposal. Like I said, one of the best coaches in the game, really clearly good genetics, really good shape, really good structure. And I think, you know, like I've said multiple times in this video, I do think it's going to come down to conditioning. And I'm very fascinated to see whether or not he delivers on that aspect of the competition. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Will Carlos Thomas Jr. be the next big thing in bodybuilding? Or maybe he doesn't even get his pro card. Maybe he doesn't even make it to nationals. Let me know what you guys think. Give the video a thumbs up if you did, in fact, enjoy it. It helps out a lot. It's free. It's easy. It's cheap. So if you liked the video, make sure you leave a like on the video. It'll push it into the algorithm. It'll get us more views. And that's what we want. It's the easiest way to support the channel. So that's going to wrap it up for the video today, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out.